Just like keep going. Just keep saying
Can
that.
you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm coming out of this. I think I'm coming out of the speakers as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think we both are. I just want to make sure I can hear the game audio.
Do you have enough game audio right now?
I could use like a little more.
Okay, wait a sec.
Yeah. I just need more game audio. I just need more game audio, and then it'll be fine. Yep. Oh man, I'm spoiling the game.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but yo, people are hella thirsty for free stuff, man.
Is that free stuff? Is that like HyperX or something again?
People are hella thirsty for free stuff, man.
You know what? I want some free stuff. Oh, this is like perfect.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah, this is good for me.
All right. So just tell us when you're ready, buddy.
Yep. Oh, Jesus. No, not the elevator. All right, yo, Tolu, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready for Titan Souls?
No. I asked for this, I guess.
You did ask for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I just give you a countdown?
Yeah, please.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, friends. This is Titan Souls, a little action puzzler game where you can roll, shoot an arrow. This is the sort of the thing about this game is that all the bosses can. It takes one hit for them to die, but it also takes one hit for you to die. So the game gets really difficult. There are a lot of really specific setups for bosses, and especially because we're on hard mode, where the bosses just get extra erratic and fast. And we're doing 100%, so we have to kill all the bosses. I'm going to let Tolu take this, because this boss is really annoying.
Right, so this boss is mostly purely random. And since this is hard mode, the slime actually splits in two. Or like in two extra pieces. And yeah, he's aiming for this heart right now. You can also hit when, when you're...
Too many of them.
Oh, jeez. All right. Oh, boy.
You know, I'm going for it.
Oh, gee. Yeah, that's rough, man. If you actually hit him too many times, you get swarmed, basically, on this difficulty. Like, this boss fight is super brutal.
This is my biggest worry, really. I should go left side. Look at this. Okay. No, really? That, like, went under it.
But yeah, like I was saying, you can also, like when you shoot the arrow, you can hit something, but you can also hit something when you pull it back towards you, and that's pretty useful on this boss because hopefully, yeah,
there
you got
it.
Nice.
That's pretty much the hardest boss in the game, right at the start. So it makes runs a lot of fun when you just reset 100 times its ledge. But now we're gonna get into some really cool bosses. Our next boss is going to be iCube. There's not a whole lot interesting going on. It's just a simple pullback. It's faster than on the normal mode. But when we get to the boss after this, Brain Freeze, it's where the bosses start getting a little interesting because there are a couple of puzzle elements in the bosses. And it kind of shows how instead of having a game where you do puzzles to get the bosses are your puzzles. So that was iCube. iCube's really easy.
Yeah, most of the strats for hard mode are like sort of modified versions of the. They're very similar to the normal like boss fight quick kills, except for like a few exceptions.
Yeah, the exceptions end up being some of the harder bosses, and there is one boss that I'll talk about a little later that ends up becoming one of the other really hard bosses in the game. Oh, whoops. Okay, I just left for some reason. So in this one, we start this boss fight by pulling our arrow into it. And the gimmick behind this boss is that you need to set your arrow on fire in order to make the ice melt. There we go, that's Brain Freeze. Again, one of the more interesting puzzle elements. And then something that they do for hard mode that differs from normal is that Brain Freeze tries to fake you out by jumping at you and then just like stopping the jump and jumping again. But by standing against the wall, it'll actually hit the wall and bounce in front of you. So there's no real risk of dying. I'm going to try to get a cycle here on Goliath, although I'll probably miss it because the window is really tight.
So he has to pull back the arrow at just the right time, or else he's going to have to yeah, reposition the entire arrow all over again, which
I probably
takes
shouldn't
a lot
have
of
gone
time.
for that. That's fine. I wanted to show you some neat tricks. So again, another gimmick between hard mode and normal mode is that when you cross this sort of median between the at the center of the boss switches hands, but on hard mode, the boss does an extra swing. So if you're able to get up to the top and cross the median before the boss drops its hand a second time, it'll switch to its left hand. It saves about 4 seconds. It's not great, but the game is pretty optimized at the moment. A lot of the runs really do depend on 1 or 2 seconds. So now we're leaving the tutorial area, and we're going to be going to the forest area. So this overworld that we're about to go to has a couple of different areas. There's forest, the ruins, fire, ice, and graveyard. And we have to go and kill all the bosses in them. All the bosses have 2 or 3, all the areas have 2 or 3 bosses in them. So we're going to be seeing some really neat stuff. Obello, our next boss, is really difficult because of the setup that we have to use. But I'll talk about the forest first. It's reminiscent of like the Lost Woods in Zelda, where if you take a wrong path, you get reset back to the start. And in order to get to Obello, you have to follow the mushrooms on the ground, which is like sort of neat.
Abello has projectiles that also like leave a trail of like distortion gas.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
That was pretty nice. Yeah, most of the boss fights, if done correctly in this run, only last like 5 seconds. Rarely do boss fights actually last more than that.
Pretty much. The speedrun makes this game look a hell of a lot easier than it actually is. Like a normal casual all bosses run will probably last you about 2 to 3 hours at most. But which to say any percent is under 12 minutes at the moment. And most of it's just learning the bosses. Once you know the setups, it starts to get a lot easier. So we're going to be seeing this boss twice, Fine Thesis. Gimmick here is that this poison is following you, and you need to wait for it to open up its little hatch, where you can shoot your arrow, pull it back so it opens it up, and then shoot the eye in the middle. So it was a pretty easy fight. But we're going to see a secret boss that we actually didn't know existed for a while, because there's no indication on how to get to it. We call either Super Vine Thesis or Black Vine Thesis, or Plant 12 is like the code name for it, for the speedrunners. And there to get to Vine Thesis, we had to go right, left, up. But now we have to go up and find this monument that if we go two screens to the right, we see it. So it's like kind of lore. It explains this eye falling into this gigantic plant. And up, left, right, and then we end up at this place that looks exactly like the start of the other Vine Thesis. But you're going to see why we call it Plant 12 in a second. It's kind of brutal. So we got extra vines, which makes this fight a lot more difficult. The setup's still really similar, but we try to use D-pad for a lot of the bosses because of how specific the strats are. And this is like one of the few bosses where we actually use joystick on. It's really easy to just walk into or roll into one of the vines. And also, if you shoot Vine Thesis in the mouth at a specific spot and then pull your arrow at the wrong time, you can slice one of the vines off and kill yourself, which is obviously bad because it takes a long time to get to Vine Thesis and all that stuff. So we're done with the forest. We're going to head down to take a save point in the ruins and then go straight to the graveyard section. So this is like one of the few moments where we kind of just walk for a while on the overworld. Otherwise, we're usually between bosses really quickly. So something you'll see here is that we're going to grab a checkpoint, and we're going to try not to die in the next boss so that we can kill another boss and save and quit and end up back at this checkpoint, which we end up using quite often, especially when death warps start coming into play. Oh, nice, double staircase. So for some reason, if you roll at a very specific point above that staircase, you just keep rolling, and you can do both of the staircases. I think there are 4 or 5 of them in the game. And here's Goal Hevel. Goal Hevel's strat changes not at all between normal and hard, and it's just kind of a shoot and pull. If you have to do this boss casually, you're going to not enjoy it because you don't have to kill it by pulling back, but it's like the best way of doing it. Doing it otherwise is pretty hard, and it shoots a whole bunch of little purple balls that bounce off the walls, and it just makes the fight very hectic. So with that clean strat, we can just take care of it really easily. And now we have another kind of long walk to make it to the Elder Boss.
Except this boss isn't like really a boss. It's like kind of a dude that's just sitting there, and it counts as a boss for the completion percentage. So you have to kill him.
Yeah, in order to open the main door that brings you, like we had to kill all the tutorial bosses to make it to the overworld. We have to kill 7 bosses, I believe it is, to make it to the final bosses. And in total on normal mode, there are 18 bosses. Is that right? 18? Yeah, and then 19 on hard mode because of the Superfine Thesis or Point 12. So every time you kill a boss, it ups your counter and then opens a door. This boss is saying a whole bunch of stuff that it's kind of abstract and doesn't mean a whole lot. It's like, you came for me, there are titans, yada, yada, yada. And then we just come up here and shoot in the eye. So we're going to quit out here, and we should end up back at the ruins checkpoint. And now we're going to head on to the magma section. So these bosses start to get a little more difficult. The strats don't change much from their normal counterpart, but just because of the nature of hard mode, they found ways to make them harder. One of them is going to be a lot larger. One of them is going to be a lot quicker. Actually, 2 of them are going to be a lot quicker. And one of them we're going to try to get a death warp on, but the timing is very specific, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it. So I'll try it once, and if I don't get it, then I'll do it the regular way.
Yeah, death warps actually save like a really good amount of time since you actually skip the like the sword absorb animation, and of course it warps you closer to other bosses as well.
This strat was actually found because of no roll mode, which people actually speedrun. And, oh, I got it.
Yeah, that looks good. So this geyser should pop up and kill him, which will like bring him back to the center and then skip this animation, which is really, that's a really cool trick.
Yeah. It saves us about 10 seconds, I believe it is, which is really, really, really good. Again, time saves in this game mean a lot when it comes to competitive runs. Roll Cane's just really fast. And there we go.
That boss can actually be impossible to quick kill like that if your frame rate isn't at a stable 60, I believe.
Yeah, we've had some unfortunate cases where new runners will come in and be like, hey, I have all the bosses down, but this one boss just doesn't seem to work the way that it works in people's videos. And then we go to their streams and find out that it's just not possible for them to kill it, and they have to fix their monitor, fix their frame rate, and stuff like that. So here's Mulcahy. I don't know how to explain Mulcahy.
I don't know why, like, this is like the only boss that... This boss looks so out of place in this game. It's like this giant anime slime. Like, I don't know what the deal with it is.
Mulcahy spits a bomb out at you and likes to spit fire at you. And if in the right place, the bomb can hit the back wall and fall on it, as you just saw. And it kind of just exposes itself to you that way. It's one of those bosses that, again, casually is not very easy because it's really hard to get Mulcahy to touch the bomb at all because you have to shoot your arrow into the mouth and pull it back. When you pull on your arrow, the boss will come back with you, but kind of like struggle because it's jumping backwards. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that makes it really confusing. And now we made it to the ice area. I think oh, okay, now we're good. We're gonna do another death warp here on the worm boss, I believe, or wyvern, or I think it's a worm. Worm boss, Onyxia. After we do this small little puzzle section. So even this like puzzle section is kind of out of place in a game where the bosses are the puzzles, but it's still kind of neat, I guess. So we do this, we melt this iceberg, and then we go in here. This boss is also a complete mess because the cycle depends on like how long you're in this room for. So we have a cycle where oh wow, I missed it.
Yeah, she went like super fast there, and again, I believe that's a little bit tough to predict depending on how you enter the room.
Oh, I got
that was
that.
still really nice though.
Oh, whoops! Wow, that would have been bad.
So here's another death warp.
So for some reason, the tail, when it's sticking out like that, when you go over it, it'll kill you. So if we start the soul absorption cutscene and then walk into it, we'll just die. And that's really good for us, but again, it's kind of strange that it happens at all.
But yeah, this is Yeti. He's an absolute savage. He does, like, I believe, like 2 extra rolls than in normal mode. But yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I'm really glad that went well. Yeti is another boss that can just be the bane of people's existence because of how quick it is. We've got a couple of neat setups for it, but it just goes really, really fast. And if you don't roll within like a good amount of time after it starts rolling, you'll just die. So Stratus is going to be our last kind of regular boss. And we're going to try to go for a quick cycle on it. Basically, you have to make it knock its own teeth out. Oh, that was so close. And generally, like once it does that, you can kill it. But we have to wait the extra cycle because I missed the shot. But it's also on the normal strat, you can hit one of the teeth and then just be on the same sort of point of origin as the teeth and shoot straight left or straight right and hit it. But because hard mode goes so fast, there's not enough time to make it on the same line as the teeth. So you kind of have to make a hero shot there and be at the right spot, and it's a tough setup. But that's it for that. We've killed all the overworld bosses. We've opened up the big door, and we're gonna go fight our good friend Gulset, which is where a lot of runs go to die.
Wait, you didn't kill Helhanen?
Elhanan? Did I not kill him? Oh, I didn't do the ruins bosses. What am I doing?
You didn't do the chest and Elhanan.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad mix-up. Okay, so we're not actually done the overworld because I made
I thought you were doing like a safe route for a second.
Oh, no.
That's why I didn't
forgot.
say anything. I was like, oh, okay, this is happening.
All right. Yeah, so I missed 2 bosses.
Oh, yeah, I believe there's a shortcut over here.
Yeah, there's a shortcut over here. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
This shouldn't be too bad. There's yeah, these are like stairs behind this cliff. So you can actually go a little bit faster.
That's still quite embarrassing.
Oh, I forgot this wall was here. Never mind.
Yeah, so we're going to have to go up some stairs.
Yeah, climbing walls is pretty slow. It's like the slowest movement in this game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually kind of worried. We're going to have to make a really long walk after we kill these bosses. I'm going to take the save just in case, as I'm not like super confident on Elhanan. Oh, well. So we're gonna do Avarice first. Avarice is this giant chest that shoots coins at you. It's kind of like a large mimic, which is a pretty neat boss, but the way to kill it is not neat at all. We kind of just hide in a corner, hope it doesn't kill us with a coin, and then shoot it in the mouth. Gee, it's a good thing you said that, because I would have just went to goal set and beat the game.
Yeah. I got you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so Avarice is also another very erratic boss on hard mode, where it just teleports and jumps around and tries to hit you with coins. On normal mode, I think it only teleports once or twice, and on hard mode, it's 5 times. And you kind of just need to run in circles around the room and hope it doesn't kill you. So that's one of the ruins bosses. Elhanan is like a larger version of you, as you'll see. It's a similar idea where it has like a special arrow that it can only shoot once, and then it has to pick him up. But instead, it has like one special arrow that you have to hit, and then 3 other arrows that are normal. So I'm gonna try to do this strat that is kind of difficult to set up, where we try to get a pull to kill on Elhanan. So I have to do a full charge shot here. I think I got it. Oh, wow.
That was very close.
That was so close. So another really...
Yeah. This is probably one of the roughest bosses to deal with if you mess up the start.
Yeah. Elhanan shoots really, really fast. So you have to be a good enough amount of distance away, otherwise it's actually impossible to roll away from it. Come on.
I think you got it.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
So that is a pretty rough strat, mostly because of the timing on the lower roll. You need to roll right as Elhanan shoots. If you roll too early, Elhanan will try to hit you at another spot, which doesn't help for the pull because the pull is in a very specific trajectory. And if you roll too late, you run the risk of dying. So we should have been doing this like 10 minutes ago, but I made a little error. So now we're going to do a nice long walk to our big door.
Yeah, you should still be good though, because you didn't really die too much.
Yeah, that was surprisingly painless, but we'll see how these bosses go.
Yeah,
I may have spoke too soon.
The last, well, actually, the last couple bosses can be really painful to deal with.
The really rough part about this game is that the amount of errors that you can make are very minute, because usually you just die and lose about 20 seconds, which is really painful in a speedrun. So good runs should be deathless. And the last bosses, the first one you can kind of make a mistake on, but you have to make sure not to get hit and not to miss like one shot. The second boss you cannot make a mistake on, and the third boss you cannot make a mistake on either. But the setups do make it a lot easier for us. 22? I can do this in 3 minutes, right? Also, we get to show off a neat glitch if everything goes well here. Well, a neat, I guess, 2 glitches. So luckily we have to kill Goalset here, because Goalset is one of those bosses that's... There's a clip that we're going to do after this that on the... Oh, man. On the any percent run, you have to do the clip while Goalset's trying to kill you, and there's a really low chance of actually making the clip. So by killing Goalset first and then doing the clip, our success rate's like a lot higher. I just need to make sure... Wow, I'm like rolling a little too early. All right. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, and then we try to get this clip that... There we go. Okay, that's not so bad. sometimes that clip can run you about like 10 seconds, and it's just, again, since time is really important in this game, like low amounts of time, it can really hurt a run.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do this infinite roll glitch, which for some reason when you kill a boss in the middle of the soul absorption animation, you can do a roll. And because of another glitch that I'm not entirely sure, we can roll upstairs. So we roll forever until we hit this cocoon, which is Soul, a boss that kind of acts exactly like us and has our same attacks. And that's
Nice.
probably, other than Sludge, on hard mode, like the hardest boss in the game. Casually, that's where you'll get stuck because of how small the window is to shoot Soul. And it kind of just warps around, shoots at you, and it's not easy. So this is our last boss, Truth. Truth is this one boss that has, or the only boss that has 3 phases, I believe. And we're going to kind of cheese it by coming up here. And if you're on this one horizontal line, we call it the north wall glitch. The first wheel won't spin at you, which is really, really helpful. So now we're at the second phase where we have to shoot all these little bites. There are 6 of them. Oh, why did I miss that? Well, rip 25. In normal mode, there are 3 bites. In hard mode, there are 6 of them that come at you until this eye comes out and you have to shoot the eye. So we're going to be trying to kill all of those. Oh, why did you dodge?
Yeah, sometimes you can fake you out and dodge out of the way like that.
Ooh. All right. 3rd time's a charm. There we go. All right, we're going to kill the bites. Also, time's going to be when I shoot the 3rd phase. So that should be coming up in about 20, 30 seconds. All right, so we got phase 2 down. Phase 3, the eye turns into a kind of spider-like thing. And then there are 3 bites that we have to shoot. And when it comes down to shoot its laser at us, we have to shoot it in the eye. So time will be when I shoot the eye. Here we go, and that's it, time. All right, so not a bad run. I took some bad deaths, but I think it wasn't too bad overall. That's Titan Souls. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me for 3 runs. That was pretty neat of you guys. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the runs.